As a sport, boxing is 150 years old, and during that time, we got to know a couple of hundreds of amazing and very talented fighters. This incredible sport went through many stages of evolution to become what it is now. Right now, professional boxing has 17 weight classes, every one of which has its own rankings, champions, and belts in 4 of the most prestigious organizations, namely WBC, WBO, WBA, and IBF. In today's video, I would like to overview, in my opinion, the most competitive division of today, the lightweight. In 2023, there were a couple of big fights in the lightweight division that left us with more questions than answers. As of now, undisputed lightweight champion Devin Haney vacated his WBC belt to fight for the title in the upper weight class, and the boxing fans raised the question: who can be the next undisputed champion? That's what we need to find out. Dear friends, today's video is dedicated to 5 best lightweights in boxing. Please don't forget about the likes, comment with forwards, and subscribe to the channel. Here we go! Number 5. Isaac Cruz. The least known boxer from our list, representative of the Mexican school of boxing, Isaac "Pitbull" Cruz. A young 25-year-old contender didn't have time to distinguish himself in terms of star power in comparison to his colleagues, but he is far from being a fall guy. Cruz began his professional career in 2015 at the age of 16. A young boxer had both easy and hard-fought victories, so the first loss in his career didn't take too long. In 2016, Isaac lost via unanimous decision in an 8-round fight. After that, Cruz hopped on a streak of 6 stoppage victories that was interrupted by a draw, which didn't stop him, but only gave him more power and motivation to get better. Beginning from 2020, the level of his opposition was increasing significantly, but the Mexican Pitbull kept on winning. Cruz convincingly beat Diego Magdaleno and Francisco Vargas, thanks to which he was given the title fight against the biggest name and the best fighter he faced in his career, Gervonta Davis. Prior to their fight, nobody recognized Isaac as a serious challenge who was able to oppose the champion, and there were a number of factors that played into that: a very low popularity of the Mexican in the media and a scary record of Tank, who was undefeated, and all of his fights except for one ended with knockouts. The fighters were similar in terms of anthropometry, but the difference in their styles is what made this match so intriguing. Cruz is a pressure-heavy fighter who goes forward, applying constant pressure on his opponents and hunting for their heads. Answering the question of which current boxer reminds him of himself the most, legendary Mike Tyson said that it's Isaac Cruz, which surprised many people. If I had to say someone is closest to me, I would say Isaac Cruz. He's short and stubby for his weight class, like I was, and he comes at you, said Tyson in an interview with The Ring. People might think I would say Tank, but Tank reminds me a whole lot of Aaron the Hawk Pryor. I mean that as a big compliment. You would think Tank is a brawler, but he is really a boxer-puncher. He moves well, he moves his head well, he can beat you in all kinds of ways. He can knock you out, or he can box you. Cruz reminds me the most of who I was. He comes at you with bad intentions, concluded Mike. Even though Pitbull was a big underdog in this clash and the public argued that it was a mismatch, the young fighter couldn't be bothered. He was confident in his skills and unshakable will to win.
Tell the people why you're the man that will finally dethrone Tank Davis and give him his first defeat.
I'm hungry. I'm more motivated than ever to give a great future to my wife and my kid. This is my dream since I was a little kid myself, so I'm here to make that dream come true. I'm gonna give my all to make it happen. I've said it before and I'll say it again. He has never faced anybody that fights like me before, and my hunger and my will to win is unparalleled, and he is gonna feel it on Saturday night. The champion's response to that was short, but quite clear.
Tank, your response.
We'll see Sunday.
Pitbull was ready to shock the world, and in some sense, he did just that, but not the way he wanted to. Being a 7-1 underdog, the Mexican gave the American the hardest fight of his career, letting him know that it was not going to be a walk in the park. The fight was entertaining and exciting. Isaac went after his opponent from the very beginning, applying pressure. Davis played along and began to work as a second number, fighting on the back foot. The contender was putting power in almost every punch he threw, trying to rip his opponent's head off. The fight happened to be even, and the initiative constantly changed hands every round. However, after the sixth one, the American switched his tactic and stopped working as the second number and began to clash with the Mexican at a mid-range, peppering him with heavy shots. Isaac was not very successful in a non-pressure based work, but despite that, he was not even thinking of giving up until the very last round, opposing the champion. The fight went to a decision, and the score was as close as the fight itself. 116-112 and two 115-113 were announced that night. Davis was too experienced and difficult for an opponent at that point of Cruz's career, but despite that, Isaac is still the toughest fight in Tank's career to this day, and the only one who managed to go with him the full distance on top of offering him a worthy resistance. This once again proves the high level of skills and undoubtedly Pitbull's character of a champion. There are talks on the internet that Isaac's next fight will be a rematch against Gervonta Davis for the WBA Lightweight Championship, and who knows how their second fight would go. One thing is clear, Cruz is a boxer with a great potential to become a champion, and very soon he will find out whether he can achieve that or stay the same guy who will be remembered as the one who almost beat Tank. Number 4. Shakur Stevenson. In 2023, the lightweight division got complemented with another exciting boxer that added colors to the title picture in this weight class. Shakur "Fearless" Stevenson is a 26-year-old undefeated champion in 2 divisions, breaks into the upper weight class with one single goal: to become the undisputed champion. Stevenson began his professional career a year after the Olympics, in 2016. Floyd Mayweather himself tried to sign him, who was in attendance of Shakur's performances during the Olympics, but the young prospect took the other path and signed the contract with Bob Arum's Top Rank. The young talent was doing great. The American was easily racking up wins, and in a short period he managed to become the champion in 2 weight classes. But eventually, not everything was as smooth of a sailing as in the beginning. In 2022, he was stripped of all of his titles without even making a walk to the ring, suffering the only loss of his career to the scales. Due to failing to make weight prior to the fight, this bout was not counted as a defense of the titles, but despite that, he beat his opponent via decision without any problems, after which he announced his transition to lightweight. It was quite problematic to find an opponent for his debut in the new weight class. Nobody wanted to fight that guy, as everybody knew he is a real threat in the ring. Stevenson was confident in himself and fortified his words with victories. Even Terence Crawford admits Shakur's greatness in boxing, listing him as the best boxer in the world right now.
That's your top 5 right now in boxing, not the top 5 in boxing right now. Right now.
Champions or just anybody?
Top 5 right now.
Shakur number 1, hands down. Tank, he up there. Canelo, Inoue, Tyson Fury.
The problem with finding an opponent for the debut was solved. It happened to be the undefeated Shichiro Yoshino.
I gotta go in there and handle business Saturday. I'm not really worried about anything but Saturday. I don't know about no May 20th, no May 21st. Saturday is what's important to me. Like I said, this dude been running around here saying I ain't got no power. He been saying he gonna push me mentally. Let's see if he ready to go to deep waters with me. I'm gonna drown him.
The fight took place and was about an early stoppage. Maybe the Japanese wasn't stunned, but Shakur's level was so much higher that there wasn't anything good ahead of his opponent. It was so clear that the referee gave up and decided not to let the Japanese receive any more damage. Right now, Shakur Stevenson is the most avoided fighter in the division. George Kambosos Jr., Isaac Cruz, Vasiliy Lomachenko, and the undisputed champion himself, Devin Haney, have already refused to fight him. Even though Shakur is a mandatory WBC contender, he will not face Haney for the undisputed championship. The latter preferred to vacate one of his titles and try his luck in the upper weight class. So, Shakur will fight for the vacant WBC lightweight belt against Elvis de los Santos on November the 17th, where in case of a win, he will become the champion of the world in the third weight class. And who knows, maybe after Haney's sortie to the super lightweight division, he will face Shakur and figure out who is the best lightweight on the planet. Number 3. Devin Haney. As of today, the last holder of the undisputed lightweight championship is an undefeated American with a perfect record of 30 wins, Devin Haney. Due to a controversial decision in the last fight against Lomachenko, Haney was heavily critiqued, hated, and despised. But does the champion deserve that after just one close fight? Haney debuted as a professional before barely turning 17 in 2015 and persistently worked on himself, fine-tuning his mastery and regularly fighting, to such an extent that closer to 2017, Devin amassed a record of 18 wins and no losses. In 2019, Haney became the world champion, and for the next 4 years he was defending his title and was not giving his opponents any chances. The moment of truth happened in 2022, the fight for the undisputed lightweight championship of the world. The title picture changed throughout the years. Lomachenko lost his titles in a close fight with Teofimo Lopez, and the latter controversially lost them in the first title defense against George Kambosos Jr. Continuous talks and speculations surrounded the lightweight division, but it couldn't keep on going for too long. The division needed an order and an undisputed champion that everybody will reckon with. The mandatory title defense was targeted for June the 5th of 2022, where two undefeated elite lightweights were supposed to find out who is better. Devin wasn't an ordinary lightweight, that's for sure. The American was a vivid representative of out-fighter style. He boxes from a long range, properly uses his reach, has a great jab and defense. Haney's goal, regardless of who is in front of him, is to knock and stop the opponent's attack before they even attempt them. In such a boxing approach, he was definitely the best lightweight in the world. Prior to the fight, both guys were confident in their powers and their victory, stating that at every press conference.
George is a great fighter, and I've been asking for the top fighters for a while now, and I finally have, gotten one of them that's in their prime, that's coming off the biggest win of their career. So I'm happy about that. But what I will do is go in there and handicap George of the things that he does best. I will take away from him and make it an easy night.
Yeah, I respect that. But he says he will finish his fight as a king. What's a king to an emperor? I am the emperor. I've gone and done that, and now I will conquer even more. So, I respect it. He's a good kid. But just know that we chose you. We looked for the biggest fights. Could have fought anybody. There's a reason why. So, June 5th, looking forward to it.
Haney controlled the tide of the fight throughout almost all of the rounds, not making critical mistakes, while the Australian champion for the entire bout relied on his left counterhook, for which he always needed to be in front of Haney, but he couldn't succeed in that. Devin peppered his opponents with jabs in his usual manner, interrupting his rhythm and concentration. All of that ultimately led to a loss via unanimous decision. Maybe it wasn't the most spectacular and exciting fight, but Devin Haney dominantly beat his opponent and became the youngest undisputed champion of the world in boxing history. After such a fight, George demanded an immediate rematch, and he got it. The fight was even more one-sided, but more dynamic and vigorous. On December the 9th, Devin Haney would try to become the champion in the second weight class. He moves up to super lightweight division to face Regis Prograis to try his luck in snatching his WBC belt. You can hate him or love him, but to deny that he reached such heights thanks to his talent and hard work is silly. It's unclear whether he returns after the upcoming fight to his own division or decides to start a new chapter in his career. We will find out very soon, and for now, he is the undisputed lightweight champion of the world, and the fight against him will not be an easy one for any lightweight. Number 2. Gervonta Davis. Who do you picture when you try to visualize somebody beating all crap out of a person with one shot? What comes to mind is heavyweights, big and scary guys. Mike Tyson, Deontay Wilder, Joe Frazier, all of these big guys are truly terrifying due to the mere thought of how hard they punch. But what if I tell you that in modern boxing there is a fighter who in the beginning of his career competed under 135 pounds, which absolutely didn't stop him from flatlining almost everybody he faced in the ring? Gervonta Davis is one of the most vivid and flashy boxers of modern times. The guy that was raised in a terrible environment, lost his close ones, friends, but gained something valuable on his path: attraction and love for boxing. Gervonta started to box at 5 under the supervision of Calvin Ford, who is still coaching him to this day. Davis had a quite successful amateur career. He is a multiple-time winner of numerous national championships. In particular, in 2012, Gervonta won a prestigious Golden Gloves tournament and overall amassed an impressive amateur record of 206 wins and 15 losses. In the professionals, Tank was doing a lot better. The American is yet to taste a defeat and has a record of 29 victories with 27 stoppages. But what makes him so special? It's like a story for a Hollywood movie. Tough childhood, terrible family, and only one option: die in the streets being an addict or a criminal, or pursue his dream in boxing to the very end, beating everybody who stands in front of you. Gervonta made his choice. His style is a combination of incredible agility, mastery, and phenomenal Mayweather-esque defense, being his protege, and a raging ferocity and power of Mike Tyson. If a person with such traits enter the ring, you might as well say goodbye to your health, as the fight against him is a real nightmare for any lightweight on the planet. Nature gifted this guy with incredible reflexes and talent, which is supported by his hard-working mentality and passion for boxing. All of that allowed him to be simultaneously an untouchable and dangerous opponent in the ring. As of today, Gervonta Davis has already become a world champion in 3 weight classes, and right now he is a regular WBA lightweight champion. For his 5th title defense, the organization put together the biggest fight of the year, where Tank clashed with an American star, Ryan Garcia. The mega fight was organized by Showtime and sold more than 1 million pay-per-views in total, which will most likely be the biggest figure of 2023.
I really believe that Tank's team is worried he's going to lose. And when you're a fighter, nothing feels worse than your team not believing in you. And then you look at Ryan, who was so hungry, so willing, so ready for this stage, that he simply said yes to every request, no matter what it was. That is a confident fighter. That is a fighter whose team has his back. That is a fighter who is ready. And it's why you're going to see Ryan come out as the new face of boxing on Saturday night. Thank you.
2 incredibly confident knockout artists predicted their finishes without any doubts. And while Gervonta is usually reserved and preferred to talk with his deeds, this time the tension was really through the roof.
You're laughing, but I'm dead serious. It's gonna happen and it's gonna be over. Quick. So quick. Look at you.
One punch. That's
what?
You talk about that one.
Speak a little louder. I can't hear you. The left hook.
I only need one too.
Okay.
You could get that too.
That's fine. All right, then we both got it. We both got it.
Like, come on, bro.
I can't hear you.
I touch that jaw, I'm telling you, you're going to sleep.
When I touch anything, you're going to sleep.
I promise you. Once I touch that jaw, you're going to sleep. I'll probably break your jaw. Facts.
I feel like I'm gonna break your jaw with the hook. I just see.
You don't even
I just
punch
see
at
you on the
jaw.
floor with a broken jaw.
Go at the
bro.
temple.
Seriously.
You go at the temple. You don't go at the jaw.
Say what?
I'm gonna break your jaw. I promise you. Don't even bring your mother or your daughter. Don't bring them.
Oh, you're gonna see him.
Don't bring them. Don't bring them. I'm telling you. Don't bring them.
Came the day to fight. The hype was incredible. Nothing happened at the start of the bout. It was clear that Ryan would not rush forward, throwing random stuff at an elite counter-striker with a powerful punch. Garcia smartly decided to feel things out before resorting to decisive actions. Gervonta gladly gave up the center of the ring, letting Ryan work as the first number. Davis was feinting, constantly moving and trying to provoke his opponent to attack. In the second round, Garcia became more active and bolder, and it delivered. Already at the beginning of the round, Davis ate a big shot from the right and quickly tied up in the clinch to get away from trouble. The round unfolded in the same way as the previous one, if not for one but. Garcia got tired of waiting and rushed with a left hook at his vis-a-vis. Like by the book, Tank evades and hits him with a hook. Bam! Garcia is knocked down. The American immediately got up, but the fire was not the same. The rest of the rounds unfolded in the same manner, where the basis of the rivalry was speed against timing. The end of the fight came in the 7th round when Garcia tried to work in the same way and pressed his opponent, but all aggression of Ryan faded after another hit. He ate a plain but very precise shot to the liver from the favorite. 1-2 seconds, Garcia's face started to grimace in pain and he takes a knee. The referee starts the count, but 10 seconds is not enough to recover. The fight is stopped, another knockout on Tank's record. Maybe Gervonta Davis is not the most law-abiding person. Legal issues haunted him throughout his entire life, and we really hope that his dark side will not tarnish the huge potential that he has. Tank is unbelievable and amazing. People already talk about him as the next face of boxing. No matter who he fights, where he is at, or what is on the line, millions of people watch his fights. There are big talks that the rematch between Tank and Isaac Cruz is in the works, and who knows, maybe after another victory in 2024, the American will get a chance to conquer the undisputed championship, and the only thing that is left for us is to watch. Number 1. Vasiliy Lomachenko. I once told you that despite an incredible number of stars and champions in boxing, this sport has truly special people. Those who leave a mark in history, remembered many years later, and those whose last names are in the conversations about the greatest athletes. Vasiliy Lomachenko is a unique human being whose surname is associated with a brilliant technique, success in multiple divisions, title unifications. All of that is about the Ukrainian champion. It's worth saying that despite the achievements on the professional scene, the champion's amateur career was, if not the best, then one of the most successful ones in the history of the sport. During his time in amateur boxing, Vasiliy had 397 fights, out of which, just think about it, he lost only one in the finale against the Russian Albert Salomov, and he avenged that defeat twice. Throughout his rich career, Lomachenko acquired all possible titles and regalia, but the most valuable one happened to be the fulfillment of his childhood dream to become an Olympic champion. Not only did he put his dream into reality, he solidified it by stepping on the Olympic pedestal twice, after which he finally decided to become a professional. It started to feel boring in amateur boxing, and when we kept on boxing in VSB 4th, 5th fight, I was really bothered because the opponents in fact were the same. I've already boxed with them 2 or 3 times. It got a little bit boring, but the professionals is a whole different league, a truly different league. Almost all major promoter companies were ready to sign a young star, offering crazy deals and paychecks, but all of that was secondary for Vasiliy. He immediately asked for a fight for a world championship. Nobody could fulfill such a demand of the future champion, but there was one person who promised to give him a title fight as a second bout in the career. It was the legendary Bob Arum, that found a common ground with Lomachenko and they reached an agreement. Vasiliy had ups and downs on his journey. He tasted the sweetness of victories and bitterness of defeats, but dreamed of only one thing: the status of an active leader of the division, the Venezuelan Jorge Linares, snatching his titles and becoming the only one who managed to conquer 3 divisions in just 12 fights. He failed to unify the belts as he lost to Teofimo Lopez. Lomachenko did not get a rematch, and only after racking up a 3-fight winning streak, he earned another chance to achieve the coveted status, but in the fight against the American Devin Haney. Vasiliy was coming into this fight as an underdog. Only a few people in the boxing community believed in his victory over a young and rising champion. A significant difference in age, size and reach, all of these factors were in favor of Haney. That's why the fact that the majority saw the American as the favorite wasn't surprising.
If I were to pick somebody, I'd pick Haney because I think he got a good jab, he's younger, he's stronger. But Lomachenko, he's going to bring it. So I think it's going to be like a close fight.
Yeah, I think he wins comfortably. You know, I mean, when we were working with Devin, we tried to make that fight 2 years ago, 3, and it was a much tougher fight then than it is now. But I think Devin's proven himself as a fantastic talent. So's Lomachenko. But when you've had 400 amateur fights, when you've been so inactive, when you've had the big shoulder surgery, I don't see him winning many rounds against Devin Haney. I mean, I may be wrong, but Devin's very smart, he's very long. He won't be trying to, you know, mix it up and go to war with Lomachenko. He'll just try and pick his spots. He'll be in and out with speed, and I expect him to win the fight comfortably.
It feels good that tables have turned. That now I'm the guy. I'm the guy giving him the shot, and I'm happy that I get to prove myself. I told him to fight me then because eventually, you know, the longer he waits, the worse it will get, and I think it's just a very, very bad time for him to fight me.
While everybody wrote off Vasiliy's chances to win, and Devin Haney stated that he would beat the Ukrainian in 10 out of 10 fights, Lomachenko worked non-stop. Day of the fight, thousands of fans stuck to the screens. Can Vasiliy Lomachenko succeed in his last title run and leave on a high note, or will this dream that made him wake up every morning and keep on working stay unfulfilled? Well, the champion started off more aggressively. The American took the center of the ring and threw more shots, but the situation quickly evened out, and by the 3rd round, Lomachenko ultimately found his rhythm and at the very least wasn't inferior to his opponent. Haney's jab, which experts recognized as sort of his key to victory, did not work in a way that they thought prior to the fight. Due to a perfect timing and speed of his opponent, Devin could barely land it, while Lomachenko was ducking and getting behind the extended lead hand and punishing the champion. But despite all of that, the initiative was changing hands and the fight was very close. It was an entertaining fight, a true chess match, but the verdict left a bitter aftertaste for many fans. 116 to 112 and 115 to 113, unanimously in the champion's favor. The crowd booed, Devin celebrated, while Lomachenko sadly grinned with the face of an all-knowing veteran who gave such a competitive fight that the majority of independent judges, many fighters and coaches till this day, think that the outcome of this fight is a robbery of the year. It's hard to say if Vasiliy will get another title shot before retiring. He's 35, which is a mature age for the lightweight division. He suffered 2 losses in the last 3 years, and right now he found himself in a tough spot. He achieved almost anything one could achieve in this sport, and most certainly Lomachenko will be inducted in the Hall of Fame of boxing, but the drive for competition and victories does not leave him to this day. Dear friends, that's the title picture in the lightweight division. Each of the fighters is incredibly talented and dangerous. Everyone has all the chances to become and stay the undisputed champion, and we believe that the next year will finally clarify this picture for all the boxing fans. Thanks everybody for watching and your support. It is very important for our channel. Leave your opinion in the comments below. See you soon.